So we're coming to the end of the Agile Change Coach course. One of the things we say is that towards the end of any change, we're focusing in on the achievements. We want to create that feeling of positivity. We want to create that feeling of momentum for yet more change. So I've got the group with me that have been doing this course, and I'm just going to go around the room and ask them what they think their achievements were from the course. So if you happen to be thinking of doing the course yourselves, gives you a chance to think about their experiences. So anybody want to go first? I'll go on then, Alison, over to you.
I've got two. So I've kind of, personally, I've been feeling quite flat in terms of my role and just kind of how I've been feeling. So it's one thing is it's definitely kind of reinvigorated my love for change and all things change. So that's been a positive, because I have been feeling at a kind of, my momentum and my motivation has been fairly low recently. And kind of building on from that, the techniques in the self-care part of resilience, particularly because I've felt myself getting into bad habits and then feeling like I'm not progressing, and that's probably why my kind of motivation has been quite flat. So there's a few things in there, tips and tricks that I'm going to use on myself that I think will help me.
I love that. Thank you so much. It's brilliant. I think Monica was next, and then Ashley after that.
So I feel like I'm better prepared to help people specifically with the emotional aspect of going through a change journey. I find that always to be a bit tricky, even for myself. So really appreciate the new tools and tips that I can incorporate moving forward.
Yeah, that's the bit we're there to encourage, aren't we? And having tools, techniques that will just help us do that, half the battle. Lovely, thank you. What about you, Ashley?
So I've had 8 years working as a change manager, and I feel like I've kind of seen and heard a lot of things, but I've come away today with lots of sort of tactical tools and techniques that I can use, and I'm kind of fizzing to start using them in my everyday life. Not only that, I've built my network today with some really amazing people.
It's been a brilliant course. Yeah, I agree. And it's the practical things you can do. I like that word, tactical. I love that. Phillida, what about you?
Okay, so I like the others. I feel I've now got a real toolbox to use, not just in sort of projects, but also for the day-to-day sort of tactical stuff and the day-to-day scenarios that I'm faced with. But I think probably the biggest thing for me is it's given me a confidence and an enthusiasm and an energy of how to approach agile change management and really make a difference and sort of enthuse others to embrace change as well.
That's a really interesting perspective, because a client said to me yesterday, Melanie, this isn't just about change, this is about all work. You talk about it just from a change perspective. And he said, this is relevant for all work. And I thought, well, that's an eye-opener. But yeah, thank you. It's nice to hear you echo that, actually. What about you, Ray?
Yeah, so I think, well, a few things, having been in change a long time, like Ashley was saying. First thing, it's been great to just learn and listen. So to listen to everybody's perspective, and thanks, Melanie, for the course. I think, yeah, loads of very inspiring. So I go away kind of refreshed and re-energized and inspired. So thank you for that. And I think the other thing that's really struck me is these last 2 days has been actually about making sure that change is about the people. So all of the tools and techniques have been putting people at the center of the change. And I think often that gets overlooked. So I think that's been a really, really kind of key thing for me. So thank you.
Yeah, because it's easier to talk about process than it is to talk about people's feelings. I'm hoping these techniques give us the confidence to talk about people's feelings. Love that. Thank you very much. What about you, Jenny?
Well, I'm new to working in change, and so these last couple of days have really helped me reframe how I see my role, and speaking to everyone that's on the course to just reflect what we do as change professionals and what I can make an impact with in my role. And it's also really helped me re-see the project that I'm working on, and I've straight away got some practical steps that I can take forwards.
Excellent progress. That's what we want to see. Fantastic. Thank you. What about you, Marianne?
Yeah, I think the course has given me a new sense of confidence to go forward and have conversations about change, you know, where I can use the tools that we've learned about, but also in the back of my mind are all the stories that we've shared over the last couple of days, everyone's individual circumstances, And I just think that's a fantastic tool to take forward as well.
That's brilliant. And I know that in your next role, I think this is a great way of profiling all the things you know, because you're an experienced change manager, and it's just added to that, hasn't it? Brought a few things out for your profile. Excellent. What about you, Sabrina?
I've really enjoyed the course. I've met some great people, but it's really not coming from a people change background. It's really given me a good understanding of change management from a people perspective, and just lots of tips and techniques that can really influence the success of a change. And even though I work with IT change, I think it will really help to influence the people that I work with as well, and make those changes a success. Sorry. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
It's all right, because you were a graduate of the online self-paced as well, so now you've got 2 certificates. I love that. That's brilliant, thank you. And it also reminds me, when I'm doing my client work tomorrow, that exactly that they're talking about IT change, but what they're doing is IT creation. They create something new. Without the people work that we're looking at here, you don't get the benefits, because you're actually not getting people to use what's being created. So hopefully that message resonates with lots of people. Alex?
I really like the way that we've looked at the whole sort of life cycle, and we've got the change curve, and we've got the roadmap, and being able to overlay all of those things alongside the kind of project life cycle as well, and being able to kind of see the behavioral side plus the more tangible side is really, really useful for me. And putting that in hand with all the techniques and the tools that we've been given, I feel quite enthused to go off and do stuff.
It's about being able to navigate, isn't it, from start to finish, and overlaying different models. It really helps us do that. It's brilliant. I'm glad you're enthused. Last but not least then, Shrina, what about you?
So I've been in change for quite a few years, but predominantly from that people perspective, so slightly different to maybe the majority of people here. So all these tools are brilliant for engaging with people impacted by change, but for me, like the most useful thing that I found is the bit around where you've helped us to understand how to use some of these tools to convince our leadership, our exec teams, our C-suite, that this investment in sort of time, of money, of kind of resource is really important, because I think that's where I have struggled in the past to translate my people and slightly softer way of speaking into something that's almost like an essential that they need to act on, that they need to do something about. So that's been really helpful. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's coaching upwards, which is one of our greatest challenges, is it, as well as coaching others around us. I think we have to do both. So brilliant. Thank you very much.